Welcome back to Mile High Hoops. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different one. So I want to talk about some news that just came out. Getting a little burnt out on the previews, not going to lie, but I thought I'd do some short ones of this, just random news that comes out, and give a little bit of a take on it and see how that goes. But today at practice, it seemed that Draymond Green had punched Jordan Poole. And there's a lot of speculation, of course, about what was happening, whether it was about like money. The initial speculation was that it was that Poole was acting a different way after the contract negotiations had started. And people, of course, instantly are saying like, oh, it's because Jordan Poole is going to make more money than Draymond and all that. And like, I'm not going to lie, I kind of got that same thought when I saw the headlines. But the more I look into it, and I read some of this article from Bleacher Report is actually pretty good. They go into a lot of depth about how Draymond is always just super vocal at practice, and how even Bob Myers mentioned to James Wiseman, like, don't take anything he says personal. It's all about like how much he wants to win, and I think something like this is along those same lines. Like, he definitely did step over the line by punching his teammate, but I imagine it was something like, if the rumors were true about like Jordan Poole being a little different at practice, like feeling himself that he's going to get this bag, like I just figure that maybe Draymond said something like, hey, like, knock that off, like, and he kind of got up in his grill, like, oh yeah, you won because of us, like, let's see you prove it next year or something, like something along those lines. And Poole probably didn't take it so well, and then this all happened. I don't really think that anything's going to come out of this, honestly. As far as like what kind of discipline he's to face, I bet he gets a fine, and that's about it. I see no reason that they would like suspend him for any of that. And I almost figure that based off of like the way the team acts and the culture that they have built, that's a monster truck driving past my apartment. But the culture that they've built is like a lot about like being a good teammate and all that. And of course, Draymond is kind of punching him or shooting himself in the foot because he's that guy that perpetuates that. But I think that this is his own way of doing it. Like, Kobe called everyone a bitch that he played with, and I mean, they took it or they cried about it, and those ones that cried about it would leave. But I think that just with the culture around this, I bet Poole comes out and says something about it, like, hey, like, we just had an argument and like something happened, like, who cares? And I bet they're fine. I mean, we could play both sides of this here too and say like worst case scenario. What if the worst case scenario is that Draymond gets suspended for a couple games and then he gets salty, and when he comes back he doesn't look good, and then the Warriors extend Poole and offer Draymond like couch change, and I think that's not completely out of the picture as a possibility. Like, do I think it's a good percentage? No, but I think that there is a world where the Warriors and Bob Myers look at Draymond and kind of what he's bringing to the table and say, is that worth the $25 million that he's wanting a year? And I think there's a strong possibility that it could be no, or it's going to be, we'll give you that for 2 years and then we'll rediscuss a new deal in 2 years and see where you're at. As far as Poole, though, like, he's seeing Tyler Hero's contract that he just got, RJ Barrett's massive contract that he just got, and I think that he puts himself in the same vein as those guys, where he thinks that he deserves 4 or 5 years at like $120-130 million, and I think that's possible for him to get. I would like to have him be around the 100 million or less, but I'm not the one to decide how much he's worth. The team is, but I think that from what we've seen out of him, he's definitely worth every penny of that. But it's hard to justify when you do have Steph Curry, and then you've got this guy that is the spitting image of him, you could say. Like, definitely not at the same level, but He is a guy that has modeled every bit of his game after Steph Curry for the most part. And having both of them makes things a little bit awkward, but still good. But yeah, that's kind of like all I've really got to say about it. I mean, they didn't really. There's not a lot of info on it. It's just some guys yelled at each other, and one of them hit each other. It's practice. They're stressed out because they've got another season ahead of them, and they want to win a championship again. And their money is on the line, their life is on the line, because if they don't get the money they want, and they might have to move, I get it. They're all people, and especially Draymond, he's a person with a hot head. So, again, yeah, I don't think anything's going to come out of this. Let me know if you like this style of video down in the comments, like or dislike, and leave me a subscription if you could. I will see you next time.